Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my damaged nails and how I got to this state, what I've learned, and what I'm doing to get them back in shape. So you can see here, and I will insert a clip as well, that they are just a hot mess. So let's rewind to the beginning of February. I was craving long nails. I've been rocking short nails for a really long time, and honestly, I don't really know if I'm going to grow them out after this damage is gone to have long nails. I've had them in the past and I think they were beautiful, they were great, but I am also a nurse. I work 40 hours a week. I have two little kids, 3 and 5, and I'm very busy, and I always just remember being super careful with my nails, putting my kids in their car seat and making sure I didn't press the button and break or crack my thumbnail. And I was always thinking ahead before I put my hand into any situation. And I just got tired of that. And I was I'm just chopping them off. It's much easier. And honestly, it has been much easier. Do I miss my long nails when I see them? Absolutely. But now my preferred nail length is just short. But in February, for whatever reason, I was craving long nails and I wanted them, and I wanted them fast. So I wanted to do a gel extension, a gel overlay. I've had gel manis before. I've had dip manis before. And yes, I know that you're going to obtain some sort of damage after you apply those artificial nails, right? Or gel polish. But I've dealt with it before, so I knew the removal process. I knew that, the damage wasn't going to be so severe that I wouldn't be able to get them back in shape. And I don't want long nails after it's removed, right? So I knew I'm not going to let them grow out longer, because you don't want long nails that are damaged, right? So I'm it'll be fine. I'll remove it myself at home because I have the tools and I have the knowledge, and I'll be able to do that. Now my neck is all red from scratching it. So yeah, I called around a couple salons and I was hey, do you do gel extensions? And a lot of places were really confused. I was okay. But one of them said yes. So I'm all right, let's do this. So they put artificial tips on. With glue, which, okay, yeah, whatever, that's easy to remove, right? You soak it in acetone, boom, off. And then they put a gel over there, which what I thought was just regular gel. And they were buffing my nails with the e-file, and as soon as I put my nails into the UV light, I'm not even kidding, guys, I thought my entire all of my nail beds were going to fall off, because the fire sensation or the burning sensation was so bad. I had to take my hands out of the machine. It was that bad. But I was already in there, and I was there's nothing I can do now. So I just went with it. They finished. My nails were long. They were almond, beautiful. I could apply my polish on and take it off by myself, which is what I wanted. So after a couple of weeks, the growth was coming back, and I did a small little fill with the gel that I have at home, the gel overlay, and it was perfect. And then after maybe another week, I already started seeing more growth, and I was geez, this is a lot of maintenance. Really only wanted short, long nails for a little while. I got my fix that I wanted, and now I'm over it. So I tried to remove them myself, and I had an e-file, so I started filing them down, and it wasn't going anywhere. And I was what the heck? This is weird. So I ended up trying to soak them off with pure acetone, and that legit did nothing. And I was maybe I'm not leaving them in for long enough. So I left it in for a little bit longer, nothing. And then I'm okay, I'll use hot water to kind of activate it, which is what I did before when I had dip nails and I took off the dip. So what I did was get a bowl of hot water, put acetone in a Ziploc bag with a paper towel to help with scrubbing, and I dip my hands in that way. nothing still. And I was like, what the heck? So I ended up having to go to the nail salon like right across the street from me for them to remove it. And they're like, oh, this is hard gel. And I was like, what's hard gel? And I feel like like I know nails pretty well. I thought, like I've been doing my own nails for years now. I like to learn a lot about nails and polishes and all sorts of things, but I didn't know about hard gel. And I didn't know that I wasn't going to be able to remove it on my own. So I was a little annoyed. So here I am at the salon, and they were already dreading having to take this off because they knew it was going to be a long process. What I didn't know then, which what I know now, is that they should have filed them down as much as they could, left some of the hard gel on, and then soaked off the rest. But instead, they filed them off or e-filed them off all of the way. And at the time, I had no pain or discomfort. It was only maybe the next day that I really saw and felt like the damage to my nails. And as time progressed, you can really see the damage on my nails. Like what they look like now, they did not look like when they originally took off the hard gel. So that's my story. I will never go back to the nail salon to get a regular manicure, to get dip, to get acrylic, to get a gel mani. I will only go to get a pedicure. Like before this, I've gone a few times to get like a mani or maybe I want to get a gel manicure and I don't feel like doing it myself. And they always did okay. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to do it myself. So I would go. No, not after this. I'm not going. Like I wish they would have told me, or they would have provided me with a little more education on what was going on my nails. Like I was under the assumption that it was just going to be regular gel. Like they didn't mention this was hard gel. It's going to be a long process to remove. I told them that I wanted like a gel extension so that I can paint my own nails. But they just acknowledged it and they did what they did. So here I am. It's been about almost 2 months now, and I have a lot of growth. So here are some of my tips on how I am rehabbing my nails and getting them back to where their original state. The first tip I have, you have to keep them short. Your nails are already damaged. There's no going back. There is no magical product that is going to make your nail bed or your nails back to what they were. No over-the-counter products, no like miracle polish in a bottle. The damage is done, and now we just have to wait for it to grow out. But they're super paper thin, very, very porous. In the beginning, they were very sensitive as well. So they literally will snag on anything. So keeping them short is the best way to go, because what's going to happen is if you even let them grow out just a tiny bit, like if you see any of that white, right now I need to cut them down, it's going to get caught in something and you risk the chance of your nail getting a deep break and it being even more painful and uncomfortable. And they're damaged. You don't want to grow out damaged nails. So keeping them nice and short, I'd say definitely keeping them in a rounder shape. If you like the square shape, I'd say squoval. You don't want any sharp ends that are going to get caught or snagged in something. Trust me, it already has happened to me. They're so paper thin that it's not even worth having them like grow out. I remember in the beginning, my nails, like I couldn't even peel an orange because it was just like my nail would just bend. Like right now, they're still very bendy, but not to the extent that they were before. The next tip that I have is you don't have to do this. And again, like I mentioned, it's not going to change the state of the damaged nail, but it will help in the long run with your natural nails that are growing out. And it's going to help just like provide a little bit of nutrients to your nail already. I've been using the CND keratin treatment. I don't use this daily, even though it's recommended to use it daily, because I still wear polish on my nails. But what it is just a daily keratin treatment, and it just provides that nutrient to your nail bed that you are missing pretty much. I've tried to use this as a base coat and then apply polish over it, and it really wasn't like, it didn't really work out. The polish chipped the same day. So if I'm bare, like I'm bare today, and I was yesterday, which I should not be, then I will apply this baby onto my nails. And again, we want to focus on protecting your nail beds, right? Because they're super damaged, and you want to focus on the new growth and giving nourishment to that new growth so that your nails can grow out healthy and strong. Another tip that I have is to not buff your nails. So I have, like, I don't think you can probably see it here, but if I can insert a clip, I will. My nail beds are not even. They are lumpy and bumpy and not smooth. And I've been so tempted just to take a buffing block and like buff them smooth, but that's gonna cause you more damage. Your nail beds are already thin and you don't want them any more thin. So just leave them alone, let them grow out, keep them short, apply your keratin treatment daily if you can, every other day, once a week, whatever you can, afford to do. And do not buff. You can use a ridge filling base coat, which my damage is so extensive that even a ridge filling base coat, you can still sort of see the lines, which is unfortunate. I've been using the Lights Lacquer Fill Me In. I think this is a fairly new product to them. I actually got it in PR. I never really used ridge filling base coats before because I never had an issue with any like ridges or dents or anything like that in my nails until now. But I've used this, and I use usually like 2 coats to really give me a smoother base, because if not, like if I put on a certain polish, you are going to see the lines in my nails. I try to avoid cream polishes because cream polishes will show every imperfection that you have. I feel like the light just changed. Does that mean, do I look like darker? I don't know. Because cream polishes will literally show every imperfection that you have. So I'm a big fan of indie polishes. So I use polishes that have like glitter or flakies that have a little bit more texture to kind of elevate the polish a little bit, and disguise the bumps and the dents that I have on my nail beds. I do not scrub any of that off because scrubbing will cause more damage. I use nail clips to soak everything off, and I will show you. I have 2 different colors, purple and pink, because I bought a couple packs. But these babies right here. So if you're wearing any type of textured glitter polish, soak it off. You do not want to scrub. It's going to cause more damage. These are super cheap. You can get them off of Amazon. I'll leave my Amazon storefront link down below because I have them on there. I've had these for like years. They even sell toe ones. So if you wear glitter on your toes, you can put the toe clips on. Another tip that I have is to make sure that you're using cuticle oil multiple times a day. I know it's like once or twice. I've heard conflicting things about using cuticle oil multiple times a day. Obviously, if you're washing your hands, you want to reapply that moisture, right? But if you're not really washing your hands that much throughout the day, if your job doesn't require you to wash your hands that many times, then it's like you already have the oil there. Like, why use it again? For me, I obviously wash my hands a lot. I do a lot of things at home, dishes, all of that. Yes, I do use gloves, but sometimes I don't because I'm busy. Like that's just the whole cold hard truth. So I apply cuticle oil as many times as I can, and my hands are super dry to begin with, and I feel like no matter how many times I apply my cuticle oil, I always need more, whether or not I'm washing my hands or not. So I'll make sure I'm always applying my cuticle oil multiple times a day. Cuticle balms are great too. They're super hydrating and moisturizing. Another tip that I have, making sure that you're doing your cuticle care, right? Because you want the new growth to happen and you want that new growth to be healthy. So if you're taking care of your cuticles, you're taking care of your nail beds, your nails are going to grow beautifully. A cuticle remover I actually found on Amazon while I was just looking for a new one. I just browsed and I ended up really, really loving it. Gosh, I can't remember, but I'll insert a picture here. And I always use that. For me, like Cuticle Care, I can't do it once a week. I need to at least do it twice a week. That's just what works for me. But a lot of people, once a week is good for them. But making sure you're gently pushing back your cuticles and hydrating them, you're gonna see new nail growth more quickly than if you weren't. I personally love using a metal cuticle pusher. I feel like they're more effective. You just have to be very, very careful and gentle because if you hold it at the wrong angle, you can really damage your nail bed. If I have a little video, I'll insert it so you guys can see, but there's been times that I accidentally scraped my nail bed because I was a little too rough or I wasn't holding the pusher correctly. And then the last thing that I have for you guys is just to make sure that you keep polish on your nails. It's a myth that your nails need to breathe. They do not. By having something on them, it acts as a barrier and it provides strength to that nail bed. Yes, I'm not looking to grow out my nails, but I don't want them also breaking and chipping away, even though I am cutting them. Has that happened even though my nails are polished? Yes, because of, and that can be for many different factors. It could be because of your work environment. It could be because you might have hit your hand on something. For me, it's probably because one, my work environment, and two, my nails are just so bad that no matter what I do, I'm gonna have a little break. Honestly, they're like tears and not even breaks. Like, that's so sad because they're so paper thin. But yes, so having something on your nails will act as a barrier and help protect the new nails that are growing through and also the damaged nails that are there as well. So even if you have just like a base coat, something on there, it's really going to be helpful. You want to make sure that you're using a good hand lotion. I love the hand lotion from Burt's Bees. Again, another product I think I either found on Target or Amazon. I love it. I love it for work. I love it for out of work. I think it's a great lotion. It doesn't leave your hands super greasy. There's actually two from Burt's Bees that I really enjoy. And I'll leave the pictures here so you guys can see them. I do really love Unicorn Magic as well. I think their products are amazing. They're also very hydrating and they don't leave your hands sticky whatsoever. So it's a good lotion if you are typing all day or if you work in a healthcare environment. They are scented. I'm sure that there's some on the website that are unscented. The ones that I've purchased are scented because usually I get them through like polish pickup. But yes, so my nails were very tender. They hurt really bad, paper thin, snagging on everything. They still do. Bumpy and lumpy, like just not what you want. But it's been about, I'd say, almost 2 months now, and there's definitely been a significant amount of growth. I cannot wait for them to just grow out so I can wear whatever polish I want. Again, if you want to throw on a cream polish if you have damaged nails, go ahead. For me, it bothers me seeing all those imperfections, so I don't. But I can say after doing all of this consistently that yes, they're still very weak. Yes, they're still damaged, but there's a significant difference. I can tell they're a little more stronger. I've been staying on top of my cuticle care, so they have been growing. Like I said, the damage isn't going to get fixed with any sort of product because there isn't a miracle product. But with consistency and using the right products, your nails will feel a little bit better. And that new nail growth is going to be super healthy. So let me know if you have any questions, if you've suffered from damaged nails like mine, if you have any horror stories, which I'm sure there's lots of horror stories out there. And not to knock salons. I mean, if you go to the salon, that's, and you haven't had any issues, that's great. I obviously had a horrible time and I'm just not going to go back again, but that's just my personal preference. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next one.